Hi! So Dynamite was last night. I'm going to try and get this video out before I leave for work. So I got up at 5 a.m. to watch this for you all. Thank me. Dynamite was great. Absolutely great. And we're just going to go through it as we always do. And, you know, talk about what happened because I fucking loved it. I thought it was excellent. So our first match to talk about was Jon Moxley versus Mark Davis for the AEW Continental Championship. We didn't know this was happening, at least when I made my preview. This match was great. It really was. Davis fucks his hand up. I mean, it's no other way to say it. He goes for the chops, and he hits the barrier, like the pole, very hard. Swells, bleeding like fuck, and you can tell it's probably legitimately broken. I've not seen anything since. But Moxley's brutality and stuff, not the resilience, but Moxley just being as Moxley is very, feral, for lack of a better term, grabbing onto you, won't let go, gets it in the cutters, the stomps, but Davis looks great. Davis's presentation hasn't really half elevated. It's been really good. Again, a lot, the size is obviously important with Mark Davis, you know what I mean? There's no Don Callis family outside, not even Don on commentary. But his improvement ever since with Jake Doyle, it's just, I know Jake Doyle's out, but you know what I mean, ever since that's happened, his presentation's just skyrocketed. He's been great. He's probably going to be out injured with the hangs that look nasty. But for a Continental Championship opener, and I think this is Mox, I don't think it was in Cincy, but it was definitely around Ohio, so the crowd was great all night, but Mox got a real good welcome. Definitely Death Riders country. And it was a great match. I mean, like I say, it was very bog standard, but between these two, the strength you're going to get from Davis, the resilience you're going to get from Moxley, the brutality you're going to get from both, the commitments, everything. It's a great match. It really is. It was a solid opener. And I really enjoyed that. I think it's one of Mox's better Continental Championship defenses, but it's probably not better than, frankly, it's probably a bit better. It's probably a bit better than the Shelton match, and I enjoyed that Shelton match a lot. So it was a really good match. That's a good metric. But his reign's been great so far, and this is definitely part of that. So after that, we actually got Hangman backstage, where when Hangman gets backstage, it's after his match at Grand Slam, actually, and he's just basically saying, Andrade, there's a reason they call you LG Eagle. That was a great match, one of my greatest matches. It was very good. The more I think about that match, the more I enjoy it. And then he goes, Max, I hope you're watching, because I can't wait to kick your ass and show you that, I'm basically coming to get that belt in your ass too. And it's like, okay, pretty good, solid, intense Hangman promo. Not really much to say. Basically, it's what you expect from an after show promo, but Hangman's intensity obviously makes it, so there's no debate there. After that, we actually got an FTR. They came out, and they come out basically just before the break, which was weird. And then when they're in the ring, they're calling out the Bucks, saying, the Young Bucks, they're nowhere near good as them, calling them out. This was funny as hell. Basically saying, they're nowhere near our level. We'll just be, it's, disrespect comparing us to the Bucks. And the Bucks come out while they're chatting all this shit, because Stokely's on the mic after Dax and Cash are saying this, just getting the crowd riled up. The Bucks come out, they super kick Cash and Dax, so Stokely doesn't realise, and he's continuing talking all this shit about the Bucks, and then he just stops and goes, and he didn't even turn around, he just scoots around. Bear in mind, he's in the wheelchair and he's using his legs. I thought that was funny as hell. And then he's going, hey, and the Bucks are like, hey, don't worry about it, and then they super kick him. And then Nick Jackson gets the mic, and he basically says, Revolution, we're calling out, and we're coming out back to these AEW tag champs. That was basically it. The crowd's hot for it. I'm getting more and more into it the more time goes on. I was quite, not against it, but you know what I mean, I went all for it originally, but FTR versus the Bucks is always a good match. Revolution, it is confirmed for Revolution, so that's really good. And Stokely Hathaway is still the funniest fucker alive. I still would have FTR win here. I think that would be hilarious. So after that, we actually got Brody King backstage after his AEW World title match at Grand Slam Australia with Bandito next to him, and he's just going, look how close, I was this close, and basically says, I've got the taste for it now, Max, anyone on world title, I'm not going anywhere time soon, I'm out injured, because he's obviously, Max targeted that knee heavily, and then basically goes, but after that I'm back, and everyone should be on notice. Pretty fucking cool. Bandito didn't say a word, but also Bandito should be on that world title picture too, but Brody, yeah, all for it, definitely. Oh, I like this direction they're pushing him. Also, obviously, there is a loud fuck ice chants while he's doing it. Pretty freaking epic. So after that, we actually got the TBS 4-way title match, which was Willow, the champion, versus Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir, and Mina Shibakawa. This was really good. This was a really good match. It was mainly Megan and Marina teaming up as we expected. Mina Shibakawa doesn't have a lot to do. She gets basically throughout the ring, has a little moment, and then basically comes back in for the finish. Willow's just getting targeted by Megan and Marina, and Megan and Marina look great. They really do. They work well. The ability, the lariats and stuff, the hits, the chops, the kicks from Megan are great. Obviously, Marina's striking is always great. There was no mother's milk, which was surprising. No attempt, at least from my recollection. Yeah, they mainly target Willow. Mina basically gets through out at the start so they can both team up on Willow. And then so she has a little moment where she's trying to come in, but then she just basically gets thrown out again. And then she comes in for the finish. She eats the pin. It's a roll-up by Willow, which was a bit wild. Willow looked good here too, but it was completely there to just show Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir are here to stay, which is good. They do actually have a moment where, so they both attack Willow, like I say, and they're about to put Willow back in the ring, and Marina Shafir pulls Megan Bayne back, staring at each other like, oh shit, no, we have to fight, because, the match is won at that point. And they start chopping each other off, doing the strikes, and the war, basically they're basically chopping and punching each other all the way to the barrier. So then Mina Shirakawa's in the ring. She has a go at Willow. Willow gets a roll up, and that's the finish. I get it. Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir are distraught. Willow's like, yeah, I won at least. You know what I mean? But it's like clearly I know. I think they're gonna give it to Megan Bayne, which they should. And it was a really good match. I didn't expect to enjoy this as much as I did. I really didn't. I thought this was a really fun match. It wasn't match of the night, but I don't think there was any bad matches tonight, really. But this was really good. I really enjoyed this. And honestly, Megan versus Marina is something I'd like to see, but you got to give Megan the belt first. 100% Megan has to get a belt first. But either way, solid, really good presentation, really good handling of that. And yeah, definitely makes Willow look vulnerable. And that's the main thing about a championship that they need to do with this one. If they're going to give it up, they need to make her look vulnerable, which they did. And Megan Bayne looks powerful, so there's that. So after this, we actually got MJF and a Hangman's promo segment face-to-face. They both tell each other that they hate them. They really do hate them. MJF says Hangman it knocks himself sick. That he's been beat by him twice now, and he wants to rectify it. And he just wants to kick his ass, stuff like that, because he is better than you. He's not the main character. MJF's the main character. Basically repeating what he said last time, which is good, but, it's the intensity. It's slow, melancholic. He walks out looking like Hugh Hefner, for fuck's sake. But as a match, I mean, it was a match. As a promo, it was good by MJF. Hangman really upset them. Hangman basically says, Max, I hate you too, essentially. And says because MJF calls Hangman a failure and a disappointment because everyone wants him to be the champ, and he's failed both times with the reigns, which And then Hangman goes to MJF, listen, if anyone's a failure, it's you. You had the contract. You were sitting around there picking your ass, and then come back at the idle time against the most dangerous man in the division for the world title, and picked up the scraps of a greater man. And I was like, that gets under MJF's skin. I love that. Then MJF, that he says during that as well to MJF, you come back with a full head of hair. I thought that was pretty funny. And then the weird thing from Hangman, he says, is the reason I hate you most, Max, is not because the title, your attitude. It's because you remind me you're the most similar to me. And MJF's like, what? And even the crowd like, what? And then he's like, you've got this desperation that only me and you in here have. And, we don't just want that championship. We need it, Max, and no one else is like that with us. And it's like, I like that. I like that comparison. It makes that really good. And then, basically, MJF goes, Hangman, you can seem off. I don't know what it is. Is it because your two boyfriends are fighting? I thought that was a pretty funny line. And then, the main thing of the promo, though, is Hangman says, look, Max, we really want to end this. And Max like, yeah, I do too. And he goes, so this needs to be none other than a normal match. You need to pick a stipulation, and then we'll let the audience decide. And the audience is screaming Texas death, and Max is like, no, settle down. And he's like, Hangman, do you really think I'm gonna make this not a normal wrestling match? I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those carnies. And then Hangman goes, well, no, I'll make you a deal. If you do this, I will never challenge for the AEW World Title again. Don't like that. I don't like that stipulation, because it kind of doesn't, if you've got a brain, you can think of things. But, it makes it interesting. And Max is like smirk, and he goes, "You got yourself a deal." And then he goes, "But I'm not an idiot. I need to tell you my answer next week." But Hangman goes, "Well, I don't care. I've got my answer, and it'll be the same. It has to be Texas Death." MJF is like, looks shitting himself, and then obviously the crowd is screaming it. And then that's basically it. We're probably going to get Texas Death, Hangman versus MJF. Hell fucking yes. So fucking sick. I love Texas Death. I love Hangman and Texas Death. I love Max. It works. It works for me. That will fuck. And it was a solid promo segment. It picks up where the other ones left off. This is the thing with Hangman and like MJF's promos. It's never going to be like MJF versus Punk, where it's like venomous shots each way. It's just pure intensity. Like, you can just picture it kicking off straight away. That one's just more riling up. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it's like I said, it's similar to their other promos, which I enjoyed. So I'd be hypocritical if I didn't like it, but I really did enjoy this. I thought and the stipulation's a great way to evolve this rivalry. I think that's definitely the right call. I'm happy about that. So, backstage after this, we actually get Moxley and the Death Riders. Moxley is saying he's not like wolves. I've never liked wolves. Or like coyotes. And basically says to Keshta, "Me and you aren't done. I want another match to settle this once for all, but we need no time limits at Revolution." As for the match with no time limits at Revolution, it's confirmed. Then Pac gets the mic, and Pac says, "Don Callis family, we've got a score to settle, so, on Collision, find us. We're not hard to find." Essentially, and Garcia goes, "Yeah, because you're not a family unlike us," and that was basically it. It was weird. Wheeler Yuta does not show that big, bald, beautiful head, and I'm not happy. We need to see that more. That's going to be funny when we eventually get to see that. But yeah, that was basically it. Moxley versus Takeshita, no time limit at Revolution. Yeah, love that. That's going to be a 60-minute war, hopefully. I can't wait for that. That's going to be really good. So after that, we actually get Orange Cassidy, and who we revealed backstage, because we didn't at the start of the show, I forget when it was, they reveal who his partner's going to be, and because Roddy's obviously walked out on it, it's Tomohiro Ishii who's back, Big Tom. I was happy about that, versus Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. I thought this match was solid. I mean, Ishii is a fucking demon. He's so good, especially for that age. Everything, his chops, everything about, like, it's the weight and just the snappiness of him at his age. He's so good. Cassidy's obviously brilliant. Clark Connors is just a shoulder barging merchant, but it's so fucking good. And frankly, Gabe Kidd against Ishii works for me. I don't mind that. I think that's when Gabe looks actually not unbearable, where he's actually trying to strike out Ishii, which is like, it's nuts to do, but like, because he seems that crazy and just ill-informed, it works. Ishii does injure his hip, so they play into that. But he carries on, like, dude, fucking lifting him up for vertical suplexes and shit with a fucking damaged hip. And it looks like a legitimate injury, because even, like, after the bell, like, Orange and the ref are trying to help him out the ring and stuff. Yeah, he's a fucking demon, bro. I love Ishii. But I was happy to see him back. Frankly, I really was. I've missed Ishii a lot. Clark Connors looks great. They killed his presentation, though. I mean, I liked his entrance last time, whereas, he looks like really good. He's got, like, a flame, and then he turns back with a toothpick. It was sick. And, this one, it's just the Gabe Kidd entrance, and he walks out with him. Gabe Kidd does it on his all fours like a feral prick. But I think they should have given Clark his own entrance, really. They didn't even play his theme, which his theme's pretty good. But, apparently Gabe Kidd's the bigger draw. Why? So, in the match, though, before we get the finish, obviously, Cassidy and Ishii win. It's towards the get pushed out of the ring, Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd. And Gabe Kidd, it's Gabe Kidd, and Darby attacks him, and Darby rags him out and starts attacking him, leading to the finish with Ishii and Connors. That was mainly the main point of the match, but it was still good. It was a great match. It was nice to see Ishii, alive and well. Well, up till he hit his hip. But and they do acknowledge that what happened with Roddy, but he hasn't seen them since. Even I know Briscoe was present. I thought we'd get some Briscoe thing, but we never. So that's fine. But yeah, solid match. I enjoyed this. We didn't know about this before it, but this was fun. This was a really fun match. I enjoyed this one. So after this, we actually got the Don Callis family promo, which is Josh Alexander stapling away his backstage attack, maybe looking intense, and he basically responds to the Death Rider saying, "We accept." And then he's attacking people. It's him and Lance Archer and Al Klom. And then Don Callis goes, "What have you got here?" Just stamps on the guy. It's funny as hell. Then they start cutting the promo on Moxley and Death Rider saying, Takeshita is back in Australia celebrating with his good friend Kyle Fletcher, and I accept on his behalf. So for the match at Revolution. And then Okada comes out of nowhere and goes, I'm Kyle's best friend. I'd like to be celebrating in Australia with him, but I come to work because I am a champion, unlike Takeshita. And then it's like, what? It's like, what? He's so fucking petty. And then he goes, however, speaking of champions, turn to the right, and it's Andrade, and Andrade's fucking peak. And he just goes, Andrade, you are the uncrowned AEW World Champion. And then Andrade basically goes, guys, I'm coming for that world title. I think that's going to be really good. And now Klon's wearing a blue mask, by the way. Fucking didn't like that. That was confusing as all hell. So it's all of them there. And Lance Archer's getting Mike Wazowski. Terrible. And then Don Callis goes, oh, Claudio, you're the CMLL World Champion. I've been thinking that belt would look nice on the mantle of the Don Callis family. And they're all going, yeah! Like, just going mad. Fucking stupid. I love this. I love the Don Callis family. I've said this. I love how they conduct promos. And I love these Josh Alexander promos. They're fun and funny as fuck. So, after this, we actually got a Hook vignette. It was arse. He just repeats that he's looking for people in Shibatas in Japan. Thanks, Hook. And after that, we got the Brawling Birds' showcase match, which they didn't say. I think one of them was Viva Vem, but they didn't actually show the title of the names of the jobbers, which was shitty. They look good. I really like these. The TV debut. I think this is exactly what I've been wanting from the women's tag division, where they have chemistry, they look like they blend, and, you know, they can flow. That's what we've needed for me. Like, the only two who've got that, Megan Bayne and Penelope for me. Sisters of Sin maybe, but I don't think they're that good of quality. But Jamie doesn't look as... They're wearing British, like, you know, Union Jack gear, you know, which we expect with the link, but it's like, it doesn't suit Jamie. Jamie needs that, like, you know, those yellows and greens. I feel like that's what fits Jamie Hayes' style now. Not like a tacky thing, but you know what I mean? Just like the character, I've always liked that. It's still weird that Jamie's in a tag now. But Alex Windsor looks great. They do a lot of lariats. The finish was cool. Alex Windsor holds them up, ready for like a, you know, a basic, I forget what it's called. And but then Jamie Hayes will jump up and hit them with a lariat. It blends both of their styles really well. It might be because they're both obviously British wrestlers, and you know they'll have an understanding. They look really good. Again, this is what I've wanted with the women's scene, the tag scene, where it's just fluidity in the tag. They look like tag teams. This is it. I'm happy about this. They don't call anyone out. They just get the job over and then, you know, get off. I thought this was good. I thought this was a really good showcase. And frankly, I cannot wait to see these two actually get integrated. Because, again, that's what I want. I want the tag scene to thrive. It's just, it's not. So after this, we actually get a backstage segment with Statlander and Thunder Rosa, we haven't seen in a while. So Statlander's basically not cleared, but she's still not done with Tekla, and Thunder Rosa wants back in the women's scene, and she says, I saw what they did to you, Stat. I'm not happy about that. I'm going to get involved. And then Statland goes, just be careful, they're dangerous. And then Thunder Rosa starts speaking in, you know, Spanish. Or Mexican, sorry. And then that was basically it. Yeah, it's Thunder Rosa getting a match against Julia Hart on Collision. That's fine. I've not got a problem with that. I like Thunder Rosa. It's just, please, for the love of God, stay consistent and, you know, healthy. But that's it. I'm happy Thunder Rosa's back, and Statlander clearly not being over with Tekla is good. No Tekla in the show, however, fucking sucks. That's not good. To me, that's not good at all. After this, we actually got a match again that wasn't announced. My boy, Kevin Knight versus Mortos. He's back. I love Mortos. I haven't seen Mortos in ages. So the challenge before it, they say on, like, you know, picture-in-picture thing, if Mortos won, Kevin Knight and Speedball would give LFI a trios match on Collision. So I was like, oh god, this is what we're going to do. We shouldn't bury Kevin Knight. The match was mainly Mortos kicking Knight's ass. And I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was nice to see. The crowd love Mortos. That guy's so fucking over. He's a warrior. You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love that. I love all that shit. He will sue you. I love Mortos. The moves. Just how Mortos moves, because he's a luchador, is so fucking good. But just his size. Kevin eventually does come into the match, you know, obviously getting springboards and stuff like that. No coast to coast this time, which heartbroken. But Kevin does get the win, which I was kind of disappointed with, even though I love Kevin Knight and I think he should win most matches he's got now, you know, against like a Mortos. Is like, I would have liked to see LFI versus Jets or against Horsecock. No Horsecock chance in the match. But I was just happy to see Mortos, to be honest. I was happy that it's kind of good to see, like, normally it's Kevin Knight who gets like this, you know, he's the crux of the match because he's still quite fresh. Because we haven't seen Mortos. It's kind of nice to see Kevin Knight do the other way, and I kind of enjoyed that. Kind of shows his position's being pushed up a bit. But yeah, solid match. I was really happy with it. It wasn't the longest, only like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. But either way, I'm not going to complain about it. Fucking Mortos versus Kevin Knight, Jesus Christ, that's like a meme match of the century, Jesus. All it needed was a Dorada interference. So after this, we actually get another Will Ospreay hype package. He's coming back at Revolution 100%, bro. And basically just saying, I'm going to come back better and made of titanium. Just happy to see Will Ospreay hype promos. I love this shit. And then after that, we actually get a Demand promo backstage where they're just saying, look, after Jack Perry's done and dealt with, we're going to try and get these trios belts, which fucking hell yes. Bishop can't start saying it makes him sick that, you know, they won the trios belts and they haven't defended them. And then totally own it, my fucking guy, going, we want it all. I love that. Then so basically they confirmed that after the trios belts because LFI, the Autos failed for the LFI, so he's got a challenge for the trios belts on Collision. That match is a done deal, which is really fucking good. I wouldn't be against the Ricochet and the man winning that. And then they go to turn back, and there's a knife in the dressing room door, and it's clearly Jack Perry. And I thought it was going to show like an angle of Jack Perry attacking them, but they basically look at it a bit startled and just go, yeah, whatever. Jack, and walk in. That was basically it. I'm just happy. I love the Demand and Ricochet. I get them the gold. 100%. They deserve it, definitely. But after that, we actually got our main event, which was Kenny versus Swerve. I love this match. This was an excellent match. The build-up in the match is phenomenal. It's two masters at the craft. Kenny looks great. Swerve looks great. The kill shots, the V-triggers. There's multiple V-triggers. It's great. You know, there's a lot of Kenny beating Swerve's ass for a lot of it. I will say it's a lot of Kenny. You know, not insane, you know, just basic good Kenny stuff. The intensity, there's clearly, you know, they're playing into the rivalry and the intensity of the said rivalry. The main thing is towards the end, though, where Kenny's got the true V-trigger, you know, with the point ready. And Swerve saying, I've dislocated my shoulder. And then, so he pulls Aubrey in, because Kenny doesn't see it. And it makes, you know, he pulls Aubrey to get V-triggered. And then Kenny's like, you know, shitting himself. So then after that, Swerve just starts beating Kenny's ass. And, you know, well, Kenny goes up for the one-winged angel. Swerve reverses it. And then is able to, you know, get Kenny in there. Does a kill shot. A lot of house calls on this shit. I loved it. He does hit the big pressure on Kenny. And then calls over for a ref. And the ref isn't, you know, does eventually come out after the big pressure. Gets the free count. It was a bit close. It wasn't instantaneous. There was a bit into it. But then after the match, you know, Swerve's, you know, beat Kenny. You know, it's a bit of a cheap win, but whatever. It was a great match, like I say. I'm not going too in-depth because, again, I'm short on time. But then after the match, this is the moment we've all been waiting for a while. Swerve fully turns heel again, that's when Swerve's best. Swerve grabs Nana, starts beating Kenny's ass, goes up to Nana. Nana's still shocked. Nana had no clue. Even commentary, and then he grabs the chain, starts choking Kenny up with the chain, then goes up to the announce desk. Brian's like, don't do it, Swerve, you don't need to do this. All stuff like that, and then does a big pressure through the table of the announce desk. And then Kenny's basically out. The one thing in the match, actually, he takes the thing off the behind the turnbuckle, you know, so it was the steel rope, and he does like a cradle, not cradle, but you know where like you lift them up, like I don't know, it's like, so if I lift you up like that, and Kenny's throat it looked fucking brutal, but Swerve's definitely brutal, and like after it, he's going, I did this, you know, he is the most dangerous man. I love Swerve as a heel. I think he's better as a heel. No, I thought Hangman was going to run out. He does not run out, and that is basically how the show ends. It was really good ending, and really good match. Definitely match tonight. Definitely. But it was a solid Dynamite. It was really good Dynamite. So, like, saying match of the night, it's unfair because a lot of them were matches of the night, essentially. It was really good Dynamite. So, yeah, that was Dynamite. I liked it. I liked it a lot. No Tekla still pisses me off. A lot of movement for Revolution. Hangman and Max, you know, stuff like that. Brody. You know, I look all that. Mox and Takesh to get in their match. You know, a lot of stuff felt like, okay, we're going to put it in just to get it in so we can build. That's what I liked. A good bit of work for Collision, you know, not loads. There's still some people you want to see, but you're never going to get them. The matches like Kevin Knight versus Mortos and the Cassidy and Ishii like versus Connors and Kid match, they work because they're the matches that make a Dynamite for me. The match, obviously, the ending's obviously the main thing with Swerve turning heel. That was good. Hangman has a lot, so I thought they were going to have Hangman into, you know, run out, but they never. I think they're going to do that, you know, sooner down the line, you know, run them back for the title and stuff eventually, or whatever they do with Hangman. I think it was really good Dynamite. These are the Dynamites that benefit where they're not loads of announcements when I do my previews and stuff. So I do like that. It definitely follows that trend. But it was a solid Dynamite. Again, the matches were solid. Even Moxley versus Davis was great. The TBS 4-way really surprised me how good that was. Ishii and Cassidy and versus Connors and Gabe Kidd was great. You know, stuff like this. All of the matches were great. There was no bad matches, and that's the main thing for me in a Dynamite. It was progressed, and all the matches were good. So there we go. That's the main thing. So yeah, that's my opinions on Dynamite this week. Yeah, a bit more rushed, not as in-depth, because, you know, I'm recording this in the morning so I can get this out today. But, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed Dynamite. If you watched it, what was your opinion on it? And let me know what your match of the night was, and what do you think of Swerve turning heel, because I am very happy about this. I think it's Swerve at his best, 100%. He's always been better as a heel.